The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics This Week. I'm Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host, and you can hear my show Monday through Friday from 5 to 9 a.m. on WVNN in North Alabama. You can also hear me on any of the various streaming apps, and you can see me online anywhere at the Dale Jackson. And you can fight with me there, but I will not fight back. With me, as always, Mecca Musick. She is the CEO of 256today.com, smart news for smart people, and we've got a great show today. Jennie Robinson will be with us. She is a Huntsville City Councilwoman. In the city of Huntsville, look, most cities in the state should look at them and be like, how do we copy that?
We're going to ask her that.
Yeah,
We're going to ask.
We'll ask a little bit of that down the line. I've also got a parting shot for you. It was the Chinese. All right, just saying. We'll get to all of that in just a minute. But right now, though, let's go ahead and get to that 2-minute warning. In all honesty, it was the Chinese. Could be about any of these things. It could be about Fauci. It could be about Iran. It could be about data centers. It's about data centers at the end. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about this. Anthony Fauci, the greatest human being that ever lived. So we were told during the pandemic. It turns out maybe not so great after all. Took the fifth 111 times. Now, again, we've seen as President Trump has taken the fifth before. It's a thing that people do when they're trying to avoid getting themselves in more legal trouble. They're being targeted. At least that was the Donald Trump argument. But Anthony Fauci, unfortunately for him, we have diaries. Yes, a grown man's diaries that he was keeping on his work computer. And those diaries show that what he was saying publicly wasn't what he was thinking privately. It turns out that he was more interested in making money and growing his fame. He loved being on TV, much like I do. Only he was supposed to be doing other things like, being the top health guy in the entire country. Just a completely terrible, terrible run for Anthony Fauci. Now Tommy Tuberville's like, lock that guy up. And you know what? I agree
think he said he should leave the hearing in handcuffs.
Yeah, and he's right.
Paraphrase.
He's absolutely right.
So this has infuriated a lot of people, Tuberville included, obviously. But a lot of people are very, very angry. But the question is, what's the next steps if it's just fifth?
Yeah, you hold him in contempt. Look, I remember a long enough time ago where my good friend Mo Brooks was about to leave office. And Trump was leaving office, and they said he was going to take a pardon, and if he took a pardon, that would mean that he committed a bunch of crimes. Fauci gets a pardon. I've heard that if you take the fifth, you're a lying bastard, and you've done a bunch of bad stuff, and you should be in jail. He does it. But here's the beauty of the whole thing. He got pardoned. That means he can't claim the fifth anymore. Mm-hmm. So by doing that and going there, he is in contempt of Congress. Lock his ass up. There is recent history where we hold people in contempt of Congress, and we put them in jail cells. Fauci needs to go, or he needs to talk. They want to know what he knew about the actual origins of this. And he can't even tell you what color the carpet is. I mean, this is just absurd. He went from being, well, I'm not going to say he's a hero or anything like that because that's not true, but one of the more well-known public servants.
No, I think during the pandemic, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway.
Sorry.
Do you know who the bad guy was in the Dallas Buyers Club movie with Matthew McConaughey when he had AIDS?
I know what you're going to say, yes.
It's Fauci. He's the villain in the movie.
I knew this.
He's the villain in the movie. It's amazing how we forget about that kind of stuff because the guy in his position shouldn't matter. Mm-hmm. He should be giving advice to the president from behind the scenes, not being out in front. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about Iran and the issues there. Look, I've been telling you all along, the issue is not fighting Iran. Okay, that's going to go the way it's going to go. We're basically up to our will. That's basically what we can do. Whatever we want to do, we can do. We just have to be willing to do it. I mean, that's just the way this battle is. But the politics of it are what generally really matter here, because the Iranians know that if they can string us along for a very long time, it puts them in a better situation. And that's what they're doing. All this talk of a temporary ceasefire, sneak attacks, all these other things. And now they're launching attacks in Jordan and Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and all these other places. They're not worried about drawing these people into this conflict. They're worried about drawing this thing out as long as they possibly can. This is not about them winning the war. It's about them losing less badly. And one of the ways they do that, drive up gas prices, hurt the American economy, mess with the elections that we're having, and cause disarray in the world. It's worked. The worm has turned. The polling. Now, I have always said.
What does that mean?
The worm's turned. It means
I've
it's gone
never heard
bad.
of that.
It's gone bad. Like it's gone bad for you. That's what it means. I guess sometimes the worm's good. I don't know.
So you didn't just make that up?
No, I did not just make that up. But here's the question. Like the American, and I believe this. At the end of this, I've said this all along, when it's over, then it will matter because the polling will rejigger itself at that particular time. But as of right now, it's bad. This is bad.
Speaking of polling,
Yeah, it's
what
bad.
was it The Hill published?
Yeah.
It was like 1 in 3 Americans support the war in Iran.
Yep.
But talking about that, it's not. I had someone explain this to me, a very smart person, talking about like it's not that they care about foreign policy so much, like the voters coming up in this election, they care about gas prices.
Yeah, that was me last week.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not very
I'm
smart
not
person.
saying you haven't said something to those
that was
effects,
me last
but
week.
that's not the person I'm referencing.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, that's when it matters. That's when it matters. And we had talked about this war possibly spreading. We talked about it last week.
I don't know why they want to drag Egypt and Saudi Arabia into this. It doesn't make any sense. But here's what you're right. Scott Jennings said it best on CNN a couple weeks ago. The prices came down a little bit, and they took the little ticker off the screen that mentioned the prices.
Yeah.
And Scott Jennings called it out while he's on CNN. That was what that is all about. And it still is. So yes, the worm has turned.
The worm has turned.
Okay,
y'all.
there we go. Let's talk about Alabama Democrats. Has the worm turned on them? Yeah, I don't know. They've been in pretty bad shape this entire time, so it would be kind of hard to tell. Their leadership struggles are very interesting. Bobby Singleton, he says he wants to be the leader. Randy Kelly is the leader. Is Doug Jones the actual leader? Tabitha Eisner. Who are these names I'm saying? A lot of you don't have any idea. But here's what they do know. There's a mess going on right there in the Democratic Party, and they're going to have their meeting next week. Yeah, they're going to have a meeting right before the next election where they're going to just rejigger their entire leadership structure, potentially. Joe Reed will, of course, still be in charge. But what happens after that is really the question. And there has been years, decades even, of just absolute malfeasance, political malfeasance, financial malfeasance. And that's how bad all of this has been. And you've got people like Tabitha Eisner, who was on my radio show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You were impressed,
yeah,
right?
she did very well. She did very well. But she is clearly there right now. She views her role as being a fly in the ointment. That is
the
it.
disruptor to promote this change.
Yeah.
And listen, she's not the only Democrat.
Oh,
who
she's
feels
punching
this
at
way.
Republicans too. I mean, she's punching in every direction. I mean, she's not just
Wildly
fighting.
going.
Yeah, she's not just fighting Democrats, but she's fighting them from the inside.
But that's what I'm saying. She's not the only one, though. She's not the only one who feels like something needs to change.
Well, she's the most outspoken one.
Well,
I mean,
that's true.
Doug Jones also said he referred to Randy Kelly and Joe Reed as George Wallace.
I saw that.
And saying that they need to go. So they're standing basically in the Alabama Democrat door,
I thought that
blocking
was an
new people
interesting
from coming.
comparison.
Don't step on my analogy I'm trying to make
Sorry.
here. But basically, the fact of the matter is he's right about that. They do need to go. Doug Jones would probably be a better leader for them. He's not going to be governor, so he can go ahead and do that if he wants. But in order for Democrats to get any real traction here in the state, the reality is the infighting has to stop and they have to disconnect themselves from the federal party. I mean, that's basically it.
Well, and a lot of the Democrats we've had on the show, these candidates and stuff, that's
Because
basically
they're
what
the sane ones.
That's
okay?
basically what we're saying.
They're the sane ones. But Tabitha Eisner is like a left-wing crank. I mean, she don't let me sit here and make you think that I think like she's like a moderate voice, and she wouldn't even tell you that. She is a fire-breathing leftist. She
wouldn't even tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, just that's what she is, and she's fighting from the inside out. All right, moving on. Let's talk about predictions. Who's gonna? No, that's not that kind of prediction thing. We are talking about prediction markets, and it looks like finally we are going to see people actually stand up and say, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't just allow random websites that are set up last month to come into our state." And just allow people to start betting on football, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Now, there have been a lot of conversations. We had one with Nathaniel Ledbetter, the Speaker of the House, last week about gambling. The prediction markets came up in all of this. The Attorney General of the state of Alabama said, hey, us and 44 other Attorney Generals go, why is this allowed all of a sudden? We never welcomed this into the state. We're not regulating or taxing. You're just letting them do whatever they want. Now, there's a couple of different reasons why this is happening. 80% of those 44 Attorney Generals, they're actually upset because this is cutting into their actual legal sports gambling. So there's two angles to this. There is the angle of, what the hell is this? Why is this happening in the state? This is not allowed. I'll call that the Dale Jackson angle. And then there is the other angle of, leave our money alone. So it sounds to me like they're going to ask the federal government to come in and change their classification of do whatever you want to something else.
I think a lot of people would agree. A lot of clarification is needed, including people who don't understand it at all. And we won't go into how Mecca's.
You're not betting on the sport. You're betting on the potential outcome of the sport against other people. It's actually a great scam because
it doesn't make any sense.
The companies that run them, they're running them. They're not actually like putting the money up. They're just taking a cut. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really that's all they're doing. It is,
and that's the loophole, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a game of skill. You see, you're buying a commodity. You're not necessarily gambling. And my commodity is, Alabama by 20. I mean, that's literally it. That's what it is, and it's absurd. It's absurd. Now, I'm also a believer that Steve Marshall should be on a bulldozer right now, driving a bulldozer to a rural gas station that has a slot machine.
That hasn't happened.
But take a metaphorical bulldozer to this.
Really quick, I know we were out of time on this topic. Okay, so will we get clarification from this?
The federal government's already said do whatever you want. And they're just asking that can we not do whatever they want? I mean, that's what's happened. The federal government has basically said do whatever you want. Yeah. And they were like, awesome. I mean, that's why you see it everywhere. Me and my kid cannot watch a football game without 18 gambling ads on it.
It's wild.
So there we go. All right, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching Alabama Politics this week. Jennie Robinson will be with us next. She is a member of the Huntsville City Council. Stay tuned.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Sector anytime on Fox 54 Plus, live, local, and always on.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Is your garage door unreliable? Is it making weird noises? It may be trying to tell you something. At Elite Door Service, we speak garage door. Simply give us a call or scan this QR code. We'll come out for free and take a look and a listen and give you trustworthy guidance. We can fix it, set you up with a new one, or let you know if we should all run for cover. Elite Door Service LLC, serving all of North Alabama.
Scout Pest Control is locally owned and operated. We offer superb customer service and can even clean up after pests. When you think pest control, think Scout. Call us at 256-216-1088 or visit scoutpestcontrol.com.
Have your car insurance rates skyrocketed? We can help and do free research and find the best rates and discounts to lower your car insurance. There are tons of ways to lower your car insurance, and we know how to find them. And right now is the best time to find every savings possible to help you lower your payment. It's so easy to switch your insurance to a newer plan with a lower rate with one fast phone call. We shop the top-rated companies for you and get the best rates and discounts, saving you money. Plus, did you know you can bundle your homeowner's insurance with your car and save even more? And that's just one of the many discounts available. Call right now. The call is free, our help is free, the savings and discounts are real and yours. Compare dozens of top car insurance deals and more with one free, no-pressure call.
Call 855-680-3016. That's 855-680-3016. Again, 855-680-3016. Call now.
Listen, if we even think you owe us money, you won't know what hit you. We'll put liens on everything you own. Raid your bank accounts, retirement fund, pension. You'll open up your paycheck and cry because we'll already have the money. We'll haul you into federal court and you might even go to jail. Hey, it's our job.
Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. Our experts will fight for you using IRS guidelines to stop any IRS actions like bank levies or wage garnishments. Plus, eliminate penalties and interest and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a tax doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
I'd have my mom call the number on the screen. You come see me alone. We'll work it out. Really, we will.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics. So this week, I am Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Mecca Musick.
And this week, we have Huntsville City Council member Dr. Jennie Robinson here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Now, obviously, you know I do news. I've covered you for many, many years. You've been on the council for 12 years. Before that, you were on school board.
We got it. You're both old. I'm sorry.
Was that really necessary?
Just the way you said it.
Okay. If we could just cut Dale out of this shot. My question is, in that time, I mean, even going back farther than that, Huntsville has had so many successes, so many big wins. It seems like Huntsville's obviously the main headline nearly every day in Alabama. How can other cities in this state replicate the success that, I mean, you've been a part of, you've helped build?
So what I have observed and what other people coming from other communities have also reported is that one thing Huntsville does differently from a lot of other communities is that we work together. In fact, it was the Birmingham, I think he was a former chamber chair, that wrote an editorial that was titled, "Why Huntsville Got IKEA." Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he said. Birmingham, they fight each other, and Nashville, but here we work together. And it's not just work together as city. The city works with the chamber instead of fighting the chamber. The city works with not one county, but two, because we have both Madison County and Limestone County that are inside the city limits of Huntsville. We're working with those commissions. We work with Decatur and Morgan County. We work with Lincoln County. And everybody works together, gets around the table to get things done.
Yeah,
really quick, but we've talked about heavy lifts that Huntsville has made, but not necessarily tax increases to go with that. Talk to me, how does Huntsville accomplish that?
I think one of the things I am most proud of is the projects we've been able to accomplish without raising taxes. And the way we've done it is by growing the tax base, which is why economic development and that working together is really important. So we come together and strategically look at how can we grow the tax base, how can we protect the tax base? Really good example of that actually is what we've heard recently about the North Village development, the 1,800 houses that are going in, North Parkway. The reason for that is because in the Hazel Green, Meridianville area, you've seen a Walmart come in, you've seen a Publix come in. Those folks don't need to come to Huntsville anymore to get stuff. So we've got to do something to bring them back to Huntsville. That sales tax needs to come back. So right there at the city limit, you're going to put in a Target and a Home Depot and a Food City and everything that goes with it. And it's actually easier for the folks who live really close to that city limit to go there instead of going to Meridianville or Hazel Green or the commercial pieces out there. So now we're rebuilding and shoring up that tax base there very strategically. It's the same thing that happened decades ago when Dallas Fanning started looking out at the western limits and putting sewer out there very strategically around the city of Madison. And so
Madison is landlocked.
There is a donut. There's a complete donut around it. And if you look at it and you look at any of that commercial property that's out there around the city of Madison, it's in the city of Huntsville.
Right. And so you talk about all this, and it's interesting. I've been here about 20 years. You've been on the school board, the city council.
Oh, you're so old.
I know, it's true. Look at me. But I can take the joke. But the simple point of this is you guys used to go places to learn what they're doing. Now you've got places coming here to learn what you guys are doing. I'll use a perfect example. Chattanooga's about to build an amphitheater. And Huntsville's amphitheater was referenced to that. And it's pretty interesting. What do you make of that?
Well, and we're still going to cities to learn from them. It's a continual learning process, but it is nice to have other cities come here as well. I was on a number of those trips to Chattanooga and to Greenville, And we learned a lot from them. One of the things we learned about was public art, and you'll see lots of public art coming here. You saw the entertainment, having that entertainment hub. Building the music ecosystem came from some of those visits. So I think we have a lot to teach other cities, but we can always continue to learn.
Let's talk about something else going on. I'm going to talk about it at the end of the program, but data centers. You've seen moratoriums all over the place. You've seen it. I've come around on a lot of this to the position that, one, we should not be offering data centers any economic incentives. There's zero reasons to do it. They want to build everywhere. Let them pay for everything. Two, I don't like the moratorium idea, but in the cities, you guys have a little bit more flexibility with your zoning and stuff like this. Does Huntsville need more data centers or more coming?
So we have one. We have Mecca.
That you're very proud of.
And offered them no incentives. They did have multiple phases. They are tied directly to TVA. They're not tied to Huntsville Utilities. If you talk to them, they're also using water in a responsible way. But when they hit, I think, their fourth phase, TVA could no longer serve them. So their expansion had to stop, and they had to go move somewhere else where they could get the energy that they needed. And I think we've learned a lot from that process. Now, data centers are getting smarter about how they use energy, so maybe that will.
I mean, the law of computers basically say that as time passes, it uses less energy and stuff like that.
But it's interesting to me also that all the people who contact me about the evil of data centers are doing it over the internet, on email, probably have used AI to write their. So it's there.
Yeah.
And what we need to find is a responsible alternative. I think they might actually be an economic benefit in some more rural areas of the state.
I think we should incentivize them going to those rural areas.
There you go.
That's what I think
they're going to provide employment.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to look at data centers not as a great evil, but how do we make it work better?
Okay. All right, there we go. When all these conversations about data centers come in, you say they come in via email, stuff like this. Do you have any vibe that might be Chinese?
Oh,
No, I'm dead serious, Mecca. That's the thing. I'll talk about it in the next segment.
Yeah, you're going to have
so many of the emails I get, whether it's about data centers or ICE or whatever, it does not have the address of the person and it may be just a first name or a last name on there. No way to identify them. They get deleted. If I get it from somebody I know, I will respond to them.
Yeah, foreign influence seems to be the thing, and that,
it is,
that
and
seems
I think
to be
it's
happening.
more than we think it is. I think that they were being controlled in social media, just the division that we see in our political, which is why I like municipal politics that are nonpartisan, because your pothole doesn't care if you're an R or a D. It just wants to be fixed. I can deal with that. But the divisiveness that we see now, where we vote you off the island if we disagree and we can't even have a conversation anymore, that's just wrong.
Last question.
Last question really quick. You are running for re-election for another term. When you are out there and you're talking to voters in your district, which is a huge district, by the way.
It's just about the same size as Madison.
Yeah, that's a lot of. What are you hearing? What are their biggest concerns right now?
Maintaining property taxes in aging neighborhoods. 80% of the houses in South Huntsville were built before 1980. So we've got to, property values, not property taxes. Property values in those aging neighborhoods. Speeding is a concern. The quality of our schools is a concern. So all politics is local.
Yeah.
And it's local concerns.
Who's going to pick up my garbage can?
Yeah,
City
exactly.
councilman, they're going to come out and take care of that for you. Thank you very much. Huntsville City Councilwoman Jennie Robinson, always appreciate her being here. Mecca's leaving as well. Short party shot coming up next. Stay tuned. The Chinese aren't controlling that. Stay tuned.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia, and this is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Is your garage door unreliable? Is it making weird noises? It may be trying to tell you something. At Elite Door Service, we speak garage door. Simply give us a call or scan this QR code. We'll come out for free and take a look and a listen and give you trustworthy guidance. We can fix it, set you up with a new one, or let you know if we should all run for cover. Elite Door Service LLC, serving all of North Alabama.
Scout Pest Control is your one-stop shop for pest control. We do it all, from rodents to mosquitoes, termites to bedbugs. We offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all our services. When you think pest control, think Scout. ScoutPestControl.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Call 866-533-1500. That's 866-533-1500. Call 866-533-1500.
Fox 54 Plus is your streaming home for news from the world of sports. Join the Fox 54 sports team for local highlights and insights. Stream Fox 54 Sports Sector anytime on Fox 54 Plus. Live, local, and always on.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Dale Jackson. In just a minute, we'll talk about data centers and the Chinese and the influence they're having on this conversation during the party shop. But for right now, head on over to YellowHammerNews.com. Sign up for my email blast, the 7 things you should be talking about today. You'll get that delivered to your email inbox every single morning. Right now, though, let's go ahead and get to that parting shot. My party shot is directed at all the people who are continuing to ignore what the data center debate is actually about. It's not about whether we're going to have data centers, because we are. We can talk about wanting to have moratoriums and things like that, and some places may put them into effect. That's fine. Go ahead if that's what you want to do. But at least do it for the right reason. And the reason that you shouldn't be out here talking about it is power usage and water and all this other stuff, because those issues can be resolved and we should resolve them smartly. You don't need a moratorium in order to do that. But we also need to understand that this is a Chinese op. They have decided they want the data centers within their borders for a couple of reasons. One, they're easier to control in that situation. You can also control the information that goes through them if they are within those borders. This is the debate. This is a battle. This is a national security issue. And the only people treating it like that is the Chinese. The Chinese are the only ones treating it that way. We're not. We're treating it as if it's an issue about whether or not water is going to be used. That's not the actual debate. There's a much broader issue here. This is where the world is going, and we got to be smarter about it. Thank you very much for watching and listening to Alabama Politics This Week. We'll talk to you soon.